Beautiful people, welcome back to Desiree Budgets. Today I wanted to do a debt confession, and this will be my second one. So I want to create a column of the amount that I used to owe versus what I owe now. And so with that, let's go ahead and begin. I hope all of you have had an amazing week thus far. Okay, so the first one that I have is medical. Let me see if you can see that. So it was medical, and I owed $3,349.64. So I might do this one right here. Okay, so now I actually only owe $807.27. So this automatically, very drastically came down, fortunately. Now, the other debt that I had in a previous video was a debt from a car. The bumper got scratched and they were charging me $3,000. That got fixed and tended to, so I don't owe anything anymore from that. So this is one of those that I can scratch off now. Now, family debt, I owed $5,750, and I still owe $5,750. There is a second debt, I suppose. It's for a funeral, and the cost of that, or at least my portion of it, is $2,627.50, and I still owe that amount. And just as a reference, this person is still living, but there were just a lot of documents that had to be arranged, and we had to have them in order for us to proceed with other things that we were trying to do and get fixed for this particular person. The next thing I have is an affirm loan. That used to be $2,881.62, and now I owe $1,898. I also have a milestone credit card. This used to be $658, and now it's dropped to $12. I haven't paid it off yet, even though I can. It's just $12. However, I'm waiting for my credit to be, I'm waiting for someone to run my credit, and I want to make sure that the available balance that I've paid off shows, because if I close my card now, it will make my credit score drop in points. So I definitely don't want that. But as soon as my credit gets, they run my credit, I'm gonna go ahead and pay off the last $12 for this card and actually just get rid of it altogether. The next card I have is a Capital One card, and I used to owe $2,877.82. Now I owe $2,043. The next one is an Amex card, which I haven't paid much on it. In fact, I think the balance ran up because I now owe $7,633, so about $200 more. My Chase card, I used to owe $1,331.78, and I now owe $992. And the next credit card, I do have quite a bit of credit cards, unfortunately, with balances at least. I don't think it's such a bad idea to have so many credit cards, but when they have a balance, that's when you should start kind of thinking about your spending a little bit more. And then I have Lending Point. I used to owe $2,644, and now I owe $2,354. Wells Fargo credit card, I used to owe $1,891. Oh, these balances are off by a bit. Hold on, I need to go back and recheck them. 5750. And then this one right here for a firm was actually $3,199.65. This one was $673.26. And then my Capital One card was $2,881.39. And then my Amex card was $8,000. There you go. Okay, my Chase card was $1,400. My Apple card was $1,987.19. My lending point account was $2,724.72. My Wells Fargo card was at $1,901.67, and it's now at $1,212. My Discover card was at $2,163.75, and it is now at $1,525. My CarMax loan, which is the loan for my car, was at $15,878.60, and it's now at $15,000. And I do owe the IRS for taxes. I am on a monthly payment plan. I used to owe them $4,000. I now owe them $3,000. And I do have student loans. And this is where the kicker is. So I owed $46,382, and I still owe that same amount. The repayment process has not yet started, and I have plenty of time for that. And this number actually won't change. This number is going to stay the same, fortunately. Okay, so just to explain a little bit about why I have so many loans, for a reason or another, you know, I did a whole lot of investing, and unfortunately expenses came up where I didn't have any more spare cash, and I did have to dip into the credit cards, unfortunately, which is the worst possible thing that you can do. But when you're in a bind, you're in a bind. So luckily I've been able to pull myself out from that. So the total that I used to owe beforehand was $105,883.37. So this was a very extremely high number. And fortunately now I've been able to get it down to $92,976.77. This difference, I feel it right now. It is humongous for me because I dropped from the 100,000s down to below 100. Fortunately. And I know I'm including big debt, like for example this CarMax, which is my car loan, and then this $46,000, which are my student loans. However, I felt that it was appropriate just because it is still under my name and I still owe this money to someone, which is why I kind of included the family debt right here as well. So right now, the first thing that I want to pay off is this milestone card. And again, I won't be doing that until the end of the month. And I just owe $12, which is absolutely doable. There's nothing to think about really, but I want to make sure that I wait for my credit score to be checked. And then after that one, I'm going to be doing my Affirm, definitely. I guess I can definitely put the APR for my Affirm. Unfortunately, I'm at like a 33.70%. And then my milestone is at a 35.90. Capital One is at 31.99. Amex is at 29.74. Chase is at 27.24. My Apple is at a 26.99. Lending Point is at 26.99 as well. Wells Fargo is at 26.74. Discover is at 24.99. CarMax is at 11.45%. And I'm unsure about the IRS loan, and I do know that my student loans are under 5%, somewhere along those lines. or just to be gracious, I'll put 6%. Student loans are definitely under 6%. So this is basically all my debt. I am gonna work very hard at it. Again, this change was within the span of, let me see, I started in September, so October, November, December, January. So for 4 months, I've been working towards this debt. And I think I've made significant progress, which is also why I am very excited to keep putting money towards my debt and keep doing the savings challenges that I'm doing, because I think I can really make a big difference and really dip into this amount here and bring it much, much lower. Let's see, what else? That pretty much covers it. Soon, though, I won't be having a loan because Nissan, a car loan rather, because Nissan wants to buy back my car, and I'll be driving an older car that I have, and this kind of takes away $388 that I pay every month to go towards any other debt that I have here. So I'm really excited. There's lots of big changes coming to my financial status, and I'm very excited because I'm going to be able to put a whole lot money to this new amount that I owe, fortunately. But thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you guys kind of got a little bit more insight into why it is that I'm doing this channel. I love budgeting. I love working with envelopes and putting the cash in there, and it definitely has kind of checked my spending. And so I'm just really happy that I see this difference, because it's such a big accomplishment for me, going from 105,000 to 92,000. And I know that within 3 months time, I'm going to be even lower than that. I really want to get rid of all my credit card debt and start putting more money in my investments, because really that's essentially where I want to be putting all my money towards. Definitely not giving money to these companies, because these APR interests are just ridiculously high. But thank you for joining me. I hope you have an amazing and wonderful week. Bye, everyone.